Well, it's been a week. Yeah, real life really sort of intervened and prevented me from doing any vaguely Minecraft related kind of thing and all that. So, yeah, well, good news is that's pretty much finished at this point. I don't really see me sort of dropping everything's and getting that tied up again. I mean, who knows? Situation may change, whatever. So, I make no promises on that. Having said that, though, we do have a game to play. And today we're going to start something a little bit different. I mean, yes, I know it's fun. It's going to be fun to watch me build Ilmango's tunnel board for a fourth time. But I think I'd switch things up a bit. I think I mentioned on one of the prior streams that somebody else on the Minecraft server was interested in getting a wither skeleton farm started. Well, at this point, I'm actually going to start over and do that as well and give them a good helping hand on it. I've already scouted the location a little bit. And I gotta admit, I'm not really a big fan of it. You can kind of see that, the ideal location for a wither skeleton farm would be a fortress sort of right in the middle of a lava ocean in the Nether. That way you don't have to worry about spawns or anything related to that. And you can see, there's tons of lava sort of to the northwestish or so of this, and even a little bit to the north, a little bit to the northeast. The problem is on the south side. There's just a ton of land there. And in order to maximize the effectiveness of the farm, you need to set it up where you need to basically do a ring of 128 blocks from where the player sits. And of course, the player sits sort of right at the center here. You see this sort of central platform right here. And out of sight behind there is the killing platform for wither skeletons. So 128 blocks from that all has to be slabbed up. A lot of work, and you can see somebody's actually already started on it. You can see railway tracks sitting through over some of this. Most obviously, since the contrast kind of kills those. But there's also some blue carpets over there. So, yeah, with a reset coming up, I think that'll be a good project to sort of take things out, depending, of course, on how long it takes to finish all that off. But in the meantime, well, I am, after all, right here, so I should probably show off just what exactly I'm looking at here. Sorry, I sort of encased myself a little bit since I knew I'd be sitting within here. What am I keeping you guys around for? There we go. Alright, let's go ahead and have a direct look at this fortress right over here. Might as well start that. Here's the main going platform right over here. And you can see all of this is underground. Not really a good sight. Well, there's a little bit of slabbage up there, but oh, where'd you get off to? You stuck down there? So you are. Bone. I do not see a skull. Okay, the odds of me getting a wither skelly skull are basically zero, but whatever. But yeah, the basic thing is you throw a... Ooh, what is it, a pigment, I think? Oh, I've forgotten exactly. I'm doing this in collaboration with someone else on the server anyway, so... They're gonna handle the fiddly bits. I'm just basically gonna be the person to slap things up, so that's well. I think I've played the game less than them anyway, so... A bit dangerous, I think. But yeah, again, this area is all looking fine and good in terms of that. All that far shore over there is a little bit too close for my liking. But you can see right back here, this is just going to be a mess. And there's a lot of surface things, right above my head. You can see how there's an overhang right there. An overhang right there too, and all of that stuff needs slabbing up. Well, I don't have an Elytra. Getting up there is going to be a huge pain in the butt. So, I think it's one of the prerequisites for getting this working and finished, it's to go find an Elytra. Hence, if you look at the indicator up there, that's actually straight up on my plans. So I will do some slabbing today, certainly. You know, I'm not going to do the mistake I saw on someone else's. I think it was Wadzi who streamed doing a wither skelly farm. His technique actually was to go from the outside in. So start from 128 blocks out and come towards the center. The problem with that technique is then the only place mobs can spawn are in the Nether fortress, and so you've got blazes and wither skeletons coming at you like crazy because there's no place else for any mobs to spawn. So you just sort of get the worst of the worst coming at you. So I'm not going to do that. What I am going to do is basically slab the place up. Now, a lot of times, I think on... Oh, what was it? Was it Iskal on... It's okay. Let's use his upload pigeon. I think it was Iskal on Hermitcraft, who also built himself a wither skelly farm, I think. I can't remember exactly. They used buttons to lay that over the thing. I think that's actually a bit expensive. A wood button costs one little bit of wood. I actually prefer slabs. Simply because for one stone you get 2 slabs. And I mean, stone is ridiculously easy to cheat, but I think I looked up the rates, and just a very basic stone farm where you're just AFKing and pickaxing, exactly like what I've got in my home. That's about 10,000 blocks of stone per hour, so that's 20,000 slabs, and if you do the math on that, assuming worst case scenario you have to slab basically everything over, then I think it was, 2 to 3 hours of grinding would be enough to resolve that. Well, I mean, take a look at all the stone I've already put over here. That barely touches my own collection. And on top of that, there's still the Enchanted Book Farm, which has a ton of stone as well. So, I am drowning in stone. At long last, I'm able to actually find a use for this stuff. And wait, something else to catch up on. I also, since I was venturing into the Nether off-stream in order to sort of do a bit of research on this thing and all that, and obviously I wound up, inside a proper Nether fortress. I went around and killed a couple of blazes, which means I had blaze rods, which means I could actually start making a enchanting station and brewing some potions. Hence, to help me with this project, I've got a whopping 6 potion of fire resistance, and they have a full 8-minute effect. Pretty sweet. So, yeah, that's going to help out quite a bit when it comes to constructing this stuff. And also, since I had a ton of gunpowder and paper lying around, I made myself some firework rockets. Again, the plan is to get an Elytra, so it would be handy to actually have, some rockets with me. 16, I think, is a good starting number. I've actually, I've actually tested out flying to and from an end city from the center thing, and this is about how many rockets to check in. I'm not planning on doing anything like that today. That's kind of fancy pants for me. But in the meantime, I think it's enough chat. Do ourselves a little bit of slabbing. And open. All of these. Yeah, see that would have been smart. You go across. You go across. So there we go. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stacks of slabs. Alright, well. Let's get slabbing. I mean, that blue carpet's really nice looking too, isn't it? We need something better though. Carpet actually is fairly cheap overall. I think I got fairly lazy when it came to laying down torches. I think anything could spawn in there though. Oh, something could spawn in there. Interesting. Ooh, this actually I have not actually spotted before. So I'm guessing this is my teammate's secret stash. Okay, sweet. But it still needs to be slab. And since I'm here to do exactly that, let's do it. Again, the plan is to go out, inside out. But, you know, I'm standing next to... I had to walk over here basically in order to get all of these slabs. So, you know what? Do a little bit of this. Get two of them out. Sure. No. I think it's going to be a bit of a pain here. Simply because, well, I mean, if I am heading out to get that Elytra, I don't know if you've actually went out and done some NCD busting, but it takes a long while. I'm kind of lucky, actually, in that on another server that I play on, I've actually spent a little bit of time, you know, getting used to it. Yeah, something gets spawned in there. Unfortunately, it means you gotta go. Thank you. So I've actually developed a bit of a technique. I think, oh, what is it? Oh my god, Craft on YouTube had, I think, a really enlightening video that talked about how they went about with their End City stuff, and I took a fair bit of inspiration from it. But I've done my own elaborations on it. I think, you know, maybe once the time comes, I'll talk a bit more about what it is. Since we got a proper inventory list and everything. Right now, let's just settle in for a little bit of slabbing. Saves the day. I don't think I need to do the one high areas, but you guys are fine, but you need to be smart. And there we go. Sneak around the side on you. Alright, that's now a double slab. That has to be pulled out. It's not simply a matter of throwing a slab down there. It specifically has to be a bottom slab. And the reason for that is that mobs do not spawn on partial blocks. Now, a slab is quite literally half a block in size. The thing is, though, a top slab actually has a little bit of space on top of it. I demonstrate this. I guess here. Look at that. That actually is a flat surface right there. A block aligned and all that, so something could indeed spawn on it. You know, compare that with this right here. this is not a block height. It's away from there, so nothing can spawn on that. This is also one reason why carpet, for instance, prevents spawning. Because it just raises the height a little bit extra, but not enough to sort of reach a full block's height. So that way, spawning is not allowed. Although having said that, I did say that nothing could spawn here. I forgot about baby zombie pigmen, and I think it's baby pigmen too. Well, do they even exist? Meh. The amount of slabs I'm going to be laying down is pretty... Like, I mean, who cares? This is basically like a 1% difference in the number of slabs I have to lay down. Who cares? Go for it. There. Gotta go this one. Whoop. Actually, I spent a bit of time looking around, because as I sort of mentioned in the intro there, I'm really not sort of enamored with this site. I think there's, you know, too much land to make it practical. And certainly, you know, Minecraft has a ridiculously huge map. Many, many times the size of the Earth. So it kind of makes sense to tool around it a little bit and see what you can find. Well, A, the server reset is coming up. B, I think between me and some of the people on the server, we know about 5 fortresses in particular. And this is the best of the bunch. That's actually kind of interesting. I think there were some mathematicians a while ago who proved that an ideal searching strategy essentially is to look at the first 3 items, or the first 3 possibilities. If one of the 3 is good, go with that one. If none of them are good, just keep looking until you find the first one that is good. Mathematicians show that that is indeed an optimal strategy for decision making. No. That is my plan. Yeah. By the end of this, I'm definitely going to be a hardcore slab spawner. But yes, we looked for alternative fortresses. Nothing really worked out. Hey, Casty. I'm gonna take a pot shot. Hey. Casty. Yeah, I know you're there. Bam. Alright. Ooh. Just a couple of spots. There's a lot to do up here. You know what? Look at these. Oh, probably because it was annoying to get to. Alright. Yeah, okay, let's do these. Why not? annoying thing about these as well is that it... Bring it back up. Kind of darkens up the place because you can't... Oh, hang on a sec. Oh. Spawn, alright. How many hours I got? Yeah, a decent amount. Alright. Revenge of the Skelly Farm. That's clear, actually, right to the very end. Whew. Playing them down backwards like that is a little harrowing. Why? Especially since there is actually a pit right down there. Can you fall down? Yeah, that's okay. There's a little bit right over there. I gotta admit, I'm impressed with the person who was flexing by laying down rails on here. It's not the cheapest by far, but if you got an iron farm, sure, why not flex a bit? Now, it should be, I think, a 19 by 19 killing platform. Oh, so if anything, I got a little bit too much right here. Oh, yeah. That's better. Alright. Let's loud up this a little bit. Yes, and in addition to looking for better fortresses, I also considered, okay, what else could we do to actually make this a better spot to spawn? Because I know how to make TNT dupers now. I mean, you've seen me build Borkon's Boar, and that's really just taking one of Ilmago's TNT dupers and slapping a flying machine on it. Well, why don't you just, why not just, where are you at? Oh, jeez. Okay. One nice thing about ghasts, I think they have to be within 4 blocks of your horizontal plane in order to actually attack you. So this thing will never attack me, it's just way too high. But of course, if it descends, I'm screwed. I don't know. So I kind of want the tier. No, the gas tier is way up there. Dang it. Alright, thanks for the gunpowder. Yes! Oh, I'm wanting that. Handy for if you're making potions. Also handy in case you're wanting to try and revive the Ender Dragon. Let's go over there. Also, an alternate approach, which I did not actually look into too much, is basically torching up every single thing. The problem with that, though, is there's some mobs which don't respond to that. Like, magma cubes actually will spawn irregardless of your light level. So if you think, oh hey, I'm just going to do the brain thing of... lighting up the entire place, well, the spot where magma cubes can spawn, nope, not gonna work. Clouds are really the only surefire way, or similar things. I mean, carpets, of course, count too. Whenever it gets like that, I always think there's a gas near. Oh, sorry, not a gas, a blaze nearby. Just normal, Nether background. That ever-present reminder that, hey, you're at a hell equivalent. Not technically hell, just sort of hell adjacent. Alright, but yes, TNT dupers. In the end, I mean, basically, when it comes to actually, like, spawn-proofing this thing, all you really have to do is... Oh, just gonna box myself in. Take the XP. All you really have to do is sort of lay down the surface area there. You whip out a calculator and say, okay, well, how many blocks do I have access to? What was that? I think 67,000 or something like that? What you need? Intriguing. But now, how many blocks do you have to destroy in order to basically raise this into a lava ocean or on the ground? There, huh? Oh, there you go. Where'd you get off to? Somewhere over here, then. Oh, there you are. The XP landed here, but I think everything else is straight into the drink. Oh, maybe on top of there. Okay, well. Back to it. Yeah, let's go this way. Yeah, obviously I haven't done much over there, but we'll get to that. Yes, let's run backwards down the fortress. I know it terminates in a lava thing. What could possibly go wrong? What if we do it this way? Be a little bit smarter about it. Oh, got me a gas off left, huh? Yeah, 2 for 1. Perfect. Oh, you're a top block. Oh. I don't want that. That's pretty much the limit of what I got. Alright, we'll tell you what. Back a row. Here. Okay, solve that. Okay. As much as I love Optifine and all the enhancements it provides, I can kind of get in the way sometimes. Yeah, the visual enhancements, I should say. Alright, where was I again? Oh, yes. Chatting about... I completely lose my train of thought again. Chatting about, okay, well, why not just use a TNT tube to run through? And I really want to do that. I think after the reset, one of the things I'm going to focus on is building basically a world eater, and use that to build a perimeter of some sort. Now, I think I'm getting good enough at Minecraft that that's actually a worthwhile endeavor. Obviously, it's going to require a ton of resources, but, you know. The payoff, though, is really quite worth it, because now you can easily get a 128 by 128 spawn chunk, or 128 by 128 chunk, where you completely control the mob spawns. There's no caves or anything like that. So all you have to do is... Wow! Okay, that's a lot of places. There we go. Uh-oh. And a ghast. I've barely even done any spawn proofing, and already this is proving to be. You're fine up there. There should be. Oh, here we go. Few blaze rods. Oh, there you go, ghast. Wow, he's close. Wow, he's a cutie. Actually, a good question. What canonically is the sex of a ghast? Or is there even one? I mean, this is a game where there's no male or female villagers as far as I can tell. They're just villagers. Oh, nice. Another one. Somehow I missed my other blaze rod. Oh, there's something better. Oh, no, I didn't miss it. Because my inventory was full, I couldn't pick it up. Alright, fair enough. Eye on me. Grab ourselves a quick snack. Once this is done, yeah, around the half-hour mark or so, I will transition over to some end city busting. Hey. You love the rails. Yeah, nobody has fessed up to being the one who constructed this, so. I do wonder who thought of it, because for my interpretation of just what's here, it basically looks like somebody went into the Nether around near the spawn point, went, oh boy, there's a fortress right by spawn. At the first intersection they ran into, started converting it into a wither skelly farm. Then either got bored or overwhelmed by the amount of slabs you had to lay down, and just discontinued. So yeah, World Eater, interesting. But instead of basically doing a radial surface area, essentially, you've now got to do a proper volume. And that means essentially bombing everything right down to lava ocean level, so about 32. Or even down to bedrock if necessary. Last off, right? Where you at? Oh, not visible. Oh. Got to there anyway, so. Yes, I'm panicking, but I mean, with 8 minutes of fire resistance, I'll be able to hold on real well within the lava itself until I can get to shore. Although that's actually a good point. Never bothered to check whether or not fire resistance is lava invulnerability. That could prove to be a problem. Come on. Alright, so let's put some of these back. Gonna stash my fire resist potions. Broom, broom, broom. I do have an ender chest. And I've got a silk touch pickaxe. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna stash some of the stuff in my thing there, but I've got 6 potions of fire resistance. So I might as well throw all of you in there. I'm gonna keep one for myself. And I got plenty of raw materials No, didn't blow that up, thank goodness. What did you blow up? Hi, dude. Where'd you go, Ghast? Like directly overhead or something? Behind there? What was behind me? Oh, somewhere straight over there. That may have sunk down there or something. Alright. Oh, I mean. Oh, you've got that. There we go. Alright, so. Take out my ender chest. And a safe spot. Yeah, I can't even access you from there. You know what? Let's just head back. So, we're now transitioning to getting to the end. Put you in my hotbar. So we roll. Well, yes, I've actually done a fair bit of thought into, yeah, what you need for going through at the end. I think I go back this way. Yes. Yeah, I got all my gold on. I was just scared away by the zombie. What you see at the top there is basically my sort of assessment of what you need. The left-hand column is sort of essentials of a sort. I mean, that listing of 192 blocks, that's not strictly essential. You could always just go and mine the blocks as you get there. But I've found that, I mean, it's a pain, you know. Do you really want to, right when you get to the end, do you want to sit down and just mine for 192 blocks? No. Most likely by this point in the game, you've actually gotten a good supply of garbage blocks you can lay down. So why don't you do precisely that? Alright, I'll go through the quick checklist on this before I head off to the end. Here we are heading back to spawn though. How is the lava curtain? It'd be actually a little bit nicer if you could get it to cover more of this, but I'm not going to complain. Probably a natural feature. Yes, and this is, I think it was elbows perhaps, set up a footpath all through the Nether. Spawn village is the way I want to go. And, you know, calling it the scenic route and all that. You know what? It's actually kind of nice. It gives you a nice view of what we've actually got near our spawn here. Look at that. Look at that area right there. Alright, so have ourselves an enjoyable little jog. In fact, might as well make it an actual jog. I believe this is Firebird Cats right over here. So let me spawn her. Nope. Clear. Firebird Cats, yes. She is helping me out. Or, okay, I don't know if it's a he or she. Not assume. They are helping me out with, sorry, they're actually the ones who started the idea of doing the Wither Skeleton farm. They did some wandering around to search for other things. They happened to stumble across, and they're like, hey, you know, anybody want to collaborate on building this? Because, I mean, let's face it, slabbing up all the Wither Skeleton stuff is incredibly painful. Alright. And here we are at the main railway station. It's actually been a long while since I've been here. Hey, little kitty. Good old Mr. Claus. Yeah, it's... The rail line between my home and Salaxio's is... That's a bit weird. Okay, that seems to have worked. Good. I think something has screwed up with the rail line a little bit, but, since I was last here. But that's okay. The way to sort of get me back home is honestly kind of awful. And, you know, I go down here and zip to to the spot, to the upper Nether highway, and everything seems to work out. With that, though, let's go over my checklist. Right. I've got a disposable sword over here, and anyway, the idea behind using a disposable sword is that essentially, I mean, if you fall off the end or a couple of Endermen body you, you know, you're not really out for much. I see I've only got unbreaking 1 on this. I have to tweak that. Alright. So, close enough. Check mark. Oh, not background. Yeah, let's do across the screen. Perfect. Disposable pickaxe. Well, this is going to be my nether pickaxe. The thing is, though, I want to bring an ender chest with me, as you kind of see over here. The idea for that is, I mean, if we're traveling long and far into the end, it's a pain to actually walk back. Now, I could potentially rocket back, but I've tried that on my private servers, and you have huge issues with the train sort of loading in underneath your feet. It can be quite terrifying, unless you're basically sort of flying by wire with no reference for where to go. It's harrowing, and especially since I've sort of banned myself from using F3 on this server. More or less. Now, I mean, to properly slab the place up, I'm going to have to use F3, so that rule doesn't apply there. But for searching for end cities and getting Elytra, yeah, no. No F3 ban still applies. The F3 ban still applies. So, how then do you get back to the end portal if you're 2,000 blocks from home and it's going to take you just, you know, a half an hour of walking to get there? Well, a great thing to do is to go into an ender chest, throw all your things in, and then just walk off the cliff. I'm going to be a little bit annoyed that I lost my 14 levels, but I've got I've got a skeleton spawner back right near my home, so I can use that to build my levels back up pretty quick. You know what? Why the heck not? You know, throw it in an ender chest, dive off the edge, everything will be fine. I mean, I'll lose the ender chest, but I've got a nice stack of ender pearls there, and now that I've got access to blaze rods, thanks to other people going in and cleaning up ender fortresses, it's no big deal to, you know, sort of to go through and craft myself another ender chest. Alright, so 2 water buckets. This was basically, this sort of system that I developed was on a server where we really didn't have a lot of resources. The goal was to sort of rush the end dragon. So most of our focus was on getting the end dragon as fast as possible, rather than sort of building up a good war chest of things. This meant that when it came to like good armor and all that, nobody really sort of had any. Again, this is the end, you know, it's very easy to danger an enderman, fall off a cliff or something like that, and lose everything. You know, do I really want to put a pair of diamond armor through that? Not without, you know, like a villager trading thing and a ton of resources on there, which we don't have. So the alternative is what I call troll strats when it comes to this. You'll probably see what this looks like a little bit, assuming I get to a city. If not, I'll talk about it on the way. And part of that involves infinite water sources and water buckets. So that's what I've got the 2 water buckets for. I've listed 12 wood logs there. That's not a strict necessity, but you're going to need enough to, you know, build a crafting bench, build chests. One time, actually, on this other server, I got super lucky in that I was going to bust down an end city, and I was, you know, going to tower up, threw a bunch of my valuables within a chest itself, and sure enough, when I was on top, I fell and died. But because I had put everything in the chest, I didn't care. I just sort of ran back, since nobody else was in the end. It was easy to sort of grab my stuff once I hit the ground. And, I mean, I lost, you know, maybe half an hour of time to get back there, but that was it. You know, it worked out extremely well. Alright, 3 stacks of blocks. Yes, I think I talked about that on the way. We'll not discuss. Oh yeah, the pickaxe. That's going to be my nether pickaxe, but I found it's pretty easy to actually build another diamond pickaxe given the villager and the enchanted book farm that I've got there. So I'm gonna borrow that. And again, it's a silk touch one because I want that ender chest. Shield, yes, I got one right there. And the reason why I'm taking a shield is I found it was incredibly handy when it came to shulkers. All too often I would just sort of cower down behind the shield and let their bullets come at me. And it worked incredibly effectively. Especially since I really had negligible armor on at that time. Like this armor that I've got right here is substantially better than what I had over there. I mean, mending, protections, 3s and 4s, unbreaking 3s. It's great. Over there, I had like nothing. You know, just by using these troll strats and a shield, I was able to do incredibly well against shulkers. I don't discount that. All right, for the optional stuff, food technically is optional. I found actually while going through the end, you can get a ton of food from chorus fruit, and you've got to be careful where you eat it, for instance. But if you're very careful about where you eat the chorus fruit, you get back your health easy enough, and it's abundant all throughout the end, so not a huge issue there. The carved pumpkin, that one actually is something I'm trying new. I didn't have access to pumpkins on the other server. Actually, no, wait, that's true. I did have pumpkins, but when I was going out and busting, I didn't bother with it. Eventually, the only time I died? Yeah, actually it was, because I was careful to... Yes, that's right. Shoot, it wasn't fall damage that got me. Sorry, it's been a couple of weeks since that other one. It wasn't fall damage that got to me. I did fall off the pillar, but I tossed down an ender pearl to save myself. And that worked great, except somehow when I looked up, I angered some endermen, and they came after me. And of course, I had minimal shields and all that, so I was rushing around trying to find some place, build, some sort of protection from the endermen themselves. And they came along and bodied me, so. This time around, I think I'm going to add a carved pumpkin to it, especially since I've got tons of pumpkins lying around, so take advantage of that. And, I mean, this is a little bit cheaty. If you play vanilla, the actual insignia for the carved pumpkin blocks a lot more of your view. This one is sort of a pseudo heads-up display, which really blocks very little of it, so not really a fair comparison. I'm kind of cheating a bit with the texture pack, but whatever. I don't think it'll be necessary. Arrows are a good idea if in order to take out shulkers. On this other server, I didn't bother because we literally had no ability to sort of create tons of arrows. So I just went in with what I had. 0 arrows and not even a bow. And again, it still worked out excellent. Just simply because of the strategies I used, I could get relatively close to shulkers and, whack them to death more or less. But yes, in this case, I am going with bows and arrows to make shulkers a bit easier, but not necessary. And again, ender pearls, they're in the optional common. I mean, they are super, super handy. Simply because it's a good way they can actually save your life. Might as well just stash some of this stuff in here. Birch planks can sit over here. Do I need torches? Nah, not really. Rockets I'm going to keep around, just in case I want to fly. Fire potion, no, not going to need it. Going to take my netherrack with me as well. Alright, all clear to go. And there we go. Okay, so... something like that. Alright. With that, let's get to the end. I hope this works. Whee! Actually, I as well transition off of that. Interesting. This seems like it's a fairly early track in the grand scheme of things. Hopefully because it wobbles around quite a bit. But what was that? At the end. Use periodic return to this rail station. Yeah. Okay. Zombified piglin hanging around, eh? Yeah. Whatever. Alright, with that. Up to the portal. Now, if tradition is being followed, Should be right next to the end portal. Yep, there we go. And someone's nice enough to put an ender chest right there. Really cool. And there's a bed to reset spawn point. Now, you know what? I'm happier with my spawn point way back there, although it will make getting back here a little bit tricky. Now, you know, in case I die out here, that's my spawn point. And whatever. Hopefully that worked. Oh, somebody blocked off the other side, too. Alright, well. Let's see what's on the other side. Looks pretty swag. Now, to be fair, I kind of knew this was coming. Because Sitosis not only has a really nice overview of the overworld, you can also browse the end thing right here. So, hopefully it's showing through better on you. Because I've got a lot of lights going on here, there's a fair bit of glare, and I can't really see exactly what's going on here. But this is the end island. And this basically is right where I am right here. So, this gives me a ton of view to actually sort of see where exactly I want to go. If you look carefully, you can actually see the end gateway. I think it's an end gateway. And portal. One of the two. Is off in this direction, which means it goes to land over here. And you can kind of tell that's the case because there's a lot of trails going out and around through here. That is one annoying thing about playing on a shared server is that a lot of people have been here before me and have gone through and basically rated all the really good... You know, I have gone through and rated a ton of end cities and all that. So if I'm going to have a hope of actually finding an Elytra myself, I've got to go where people haven't gone. And so, you know, best, again, not to go over here. But if I zoom out, you can see over here, there's this long railway. And then very quickly, there's a whole lot of nothing right over here. This area down here also seems kind of encouraging as well too, but I think in terms of sort of getting access to even get there, I have to go through here, work myself around, and go down here. Whereas with here, I can essentially go through, waltz down to this part right over here, step across, because you can see there's some sort of thing over here. It's just people have not loaded it in. And I mean, to give you an idea of just how long people have been playing on this, look at that. Got a proper house with crops growing and all that. It's wild. Okay, let's pull back. Now, next question. Do I go this way or do I chew up some ender pearls? Ender pearls are faster. But I'm also going to take a fair chunk out of my health by doing that. Try this. Cool. Would help if you're able to see what I'm doing. And I keep thinking, oh, you know, I should probably set things up so that, you know, it automatically goes back. So I don't, even if on the, sorry, so that it automatically switches back to my, hey, I'm playing kind of screen. And the reason why I keep resisting that is, of course, what happens if I don't want that? You know, now suddenly it's going to do a random transition to something I didn't want to show off. And super annoying. So. So unfortunately, it does mean I'm gonna screw things up periodically. Alright, but it is what it is. Oh, actually, and I probably should just transition on for that, because technically I am in the end, so. Let's move on to getting myself an Elytra. There's some hardcore players. There's some really good players on here. I mean, I don't know. What exactly counts as hardcore? I mean, almost everybody on this server is hardcore compared to me, so. This is going to be a long, long road, so I guess maybe I should talk about what troll strats involves. Again, it's sort of based on, I think it was Oh My God Craft? Yes. Or OMG. Oh, here we go. Already sort of transitioning almost to the end. Ooh, look at this. The lovely end gateways. Look at this. We got trees here too. Whew. Impressive little thing. Yeah, Enderbubs. Dash you back up. Alright, well the other nice thing about this railway is it sort of leads us off in the proper direction. A lot of you guys. Oh, he's using the same icon I am. Yeah, no, don't mind. That's alright. Look at this. Just chickens. Enchanter over there. Whew. That count, man. You've made a good thing for yourself. Okay. Okay, well. Transition off. And now we're at the wilds. Adventure of some sort. Alright, the other nice thing about having this walkway along like this is it points us in the right direction. I wanted to head east, and this walkway sort of points off in east. So essentially I've got to dance over a little bit and find spot. Let's briefly transition over here. Yeah, you can see I want to try and head off over in this direction here. See if I can spawn things and maybe sort of see what exactly I can find off over here. Oh, clear. Okay. This somewhere through here. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I think I can read the map a little bit better here. Not gonna try taking on them until I've actually got myself a little safe space where I can take on Ender Bros. Looks pretty good. Yeah, I think that's pretty reasonable. Not gonna find a better connector that way. So, alright. As of now, I'm starting to venture off the map. Now, one thing OMG Craft recommended was doing basically sort of like a strafe block lay, where you go on a 45-degree angle and lay down blocks that way. I've tried it. I haven't been able to manage it. So even though this is technically slower, I find it's a lot safer. Just simply because I'm not convinced I can, mine away safely in that direction. Alright, well, should I test out my pumpkin helmet? You know what? Yeah, let's do so. I'll set up a quick little Enderman killing platform. Got a few safe spots right here. Alright, buddy. Yeah, look at that. Helmet works great. Alright. This is sweet. Shame about the cheatiness of it, but whatever. I don't think it's a huge problem. Okay, let's consult the map over here. Something over here. I should actually try and work more in the southeast direction. So if this is east, this is south, down around over there. Getting down there is going to be a bit of a pain, though. I think what I'm going to have to do is basically just block across here, find a decent spot, block over that way. Yep. This is always fun. I'm proud of myself, though. I've never actually slipped off and fallen while doing this. Probably seen what I'm doing. Never actually slipped off and fallen while doing this. I don't think that's necessarily because of any great skill, but it's probably because I've got a death grip on the shift key right now. I've seen that there's actually a way to the sort of auto crouch. It's in the accessibility options. I am not enlightened enough to actually bother and do that, because I mean it's annoying to sort of go set that and then just set it back. So I'll settle for just this instead. Works reasonably well. Let's have a quick. Interesting. Well, maybe I should just carry on straight. I guess technically it's a little closer to head over there. Yeah, I think technically that's closer. So go basically straight to here. Transition across over there. Should be good enough. Oh, yes, while I'm here. Go. Follow along. With this. Let's have a look over this way. Almost. I think I gotta go another 1 to 2 dozen blocks in this direction. Always freaks me out. I've also tried putting blocks in my right mouse button in order to make this a little bit more efficient, but I find what actually tends to happen while I'm on servers is that it doesn't fully recognize it until that moment is there. So what happens is that I seem like I fall off the end because the server predicts, oh, you haven't laid a block down yet. It then, corrects itself and says, no, they did put a block in there. It was on the right hand. It was on the optional. And so I sort of zip back up. It's really terrifying to basically be continually falling off this platform while you're going along and constructing all this stuff. There we go. Whew. Perfect. All right, and this is our general direction. Southeast. Yep, you can see this is the direction we were heading in. This is the direction we're blocking in. Or, sorry, we just finished blocking in. But you can also see now I'm down quite a bit. I need to replenish these supplies. So I'm going to get 2 more stacks of end bricks. It should be enough. Generally, I'm going to favor going over here, although obviously if it leads to an end city, it'd be worth checking out over here too. I think got myself over here. Yeah, let me show you what I'm looking at over here. See, there is sort of like an end city up over here. Obviously, I want to try and avoid. It looks like there's a partial end city right here. Partially spawned in, partially did. But you can see somebody actually tried to come across over to it, although nobody ever actually visited it. So that might work. You can see it's a substantial end city too. Non-trivial chance that it's got some sort of boat attached to it, but I still stick roughly in this direction. So might as well check here anyway, just in case. Yeah, at this point I'm probably that's terrifying. Probably back on the map. On the other hand, I mean, I know there's an end city over there. Why wouldn't I go and check it out? I don't necessarily know what type, but I mean, even shulkers would be nice for me. It's, you know, that's one thing I really kind of miss on a third server that I'm playing on. Is I've actually got a ton of, I've got like ends, in addition to, you know, sort of going over the end and beating all of that. I've basically got a nice collection of shulker boxes and all the sort of usual accoutrements you've got for endgame stuff. And it is really nice. They'd basically be carrying around all of your goods in a pocket. Oh, wait. Do that. Bye-bye. Yeah, there's tons of blocks here. I'm fine. Right here's my best angle. And originally, well, trying to figure out sort of the exact strategy I'd use in the end. I was figuring two stacks of blocks would be enough. But at one point, though, heading a little bit more this way? Yeah. Somewhere down through here. Anyway, originally I was just figuring out, you know, two stacks of blocks would be sufficient to get me between any of the end islands. And it mostly worked, but there was one moment where I was tunneling around, and guess what? I ran into a situation where I actually needed a full 3 blocks in order to do so. Now, lucky for me, I actually did wind up getting 3 blocks on there, because I was like, yeah, you know, why not? It's not going to take me long to mine. Might as well do it. Not seeing it, but you can see there's a little bit of a connector right over there. So that's probably where I want to go along and connect to this spot over here. And I mean, even if that's not one that has a boat on it, I mean, that's still kind of okay. Because I can take advantage to either, you know, get some shulkers and goodies and all that. Or, if you remember from the map itself, that actually was on the very edge of the map proper. Like no, really, almost nobody has actually visited that one, so. There we go, look at that. That. Bridge. Now, somewhere around in here, then. That'd be a city. And this is part of a big island complex over here, so. I feel like these big island complexes, they tend to be really good. Oh, I can't even run now because I'm low on food. Or low on food, actually. Saturation, energy, one of the two, whatever. I'm not saying it, but a couple of sessions of end busting on that other server kind of taught me that you gotta be patient. The end is a vast, empty wasteland. It takes a long time to get anywhere, especially if you're going by foot. I got more coarse fruit over here. Good sign for our lands. Oh, there we go. And is that boat I'm seeing? No, it is not. That's the full end city. But as you can see, it doesn't look like it has any sort of boat access there. Now I've got a couple of towers sort of going up from there down the side. So unless it's sort of obscured by that, and you can see since I'm on a bit of a 45-degree angle to it, I would be able to see if there's a boat dock over there. So I've just got that end room over there, but that doesn't look like a proper dock for a boat or that. So end of the line, I'm afraid. And well, now at least I know that's over there. I guess both last time it is. But now, though, I mean, I don't even have a full stack of blocks anymore, so time to stock things up. Hey, chicken, you want to hang out? No. Chicken did not want to hang out. So, let's go through and get myself some more blocks. And one thing I really sort of love doing... Oh yeah, and I should pull this up and use that to sort of help gauge how many blocks I need. But essentially, I very quickly sort of settled onto a pattern when going through here. Only build, build down into the island itself. Make sure the passageway itself is only too high, that way Enderman can't follow you down. And build off to one side like this. The idea being basically, I know roughly how many blocks I need, right? I want at least 3 stacks. So 2 more stacks of blocks would be necessary. So essentially, once I finish this first stack, I turn around, like this, and go over 2 blocks and start drilling back this way. And at some point, I'll wind up over here. And, it'll actually work itself out in the meantime. Like, I'll actually be right back where I started. Don't have to worry about sort of digging up and potentially looking up into an Enderman's eyes. I can just sort of trust that, yeah, no, I've got everything set up in my little area. I'm going to do a little bit extra in terms of mining. Not a lot. But I don't quite have a full 3rd stack at this point. If I have a little bit of extra spare to compensate for the fact that that stack of cobble isn't a full stack, then, I'll be fine with that. There we go. Back at the start. Now, keep my head down. Boom. No worries whatsoever about offending any enemy. Okay, so let's head down here. It looks like that's my best bet to go. But I am going to be really sort of a shot in the dark for finding another island. Look at that, I'm not really seeing much of anything there. But going this way is a bit of a gamble. What did you hurt? That's weird. Okay. That's no glory. Yeah, no ship over there. Shooting a bit the texture pack right here, since it's got nowhere near the usual UI for the pumpkin. It's usually a lot more restricted to Sure what you're looking at. I know I mentioned that before, but whatever. Another thing it changes is the entire look at the end. Like, normally the end has dark, dark skies. Well, this is super bright within the shader here. Oh. Oop. Oh, here we go. Yeah, we've got a little bit more end islands out in this way. Alright, this gamble paid off. I like it. Oh, look at that. No ship whatsoever. Alright. So from, I think about here. I generally like to sort of leave roughly when the slope is about 45 degrees or so in terms of an angle. You know, trying to find the closest spot on the far side that connects to me. I mean, I guess the best bet actually is to sort of go straight this way, then veer right, and get onto that island right over there. Might as well move everything over. I don't want to fall down there, even though I do have feather falling on there. I mean, in theory, I could ender pearl down too. Over there. Yeah, I think my best bet is to carry on over here and go right. Because yes, I could head in this direction and then fall, but then how exactly do I get back up? Kind of annoying, and I have to waste a lot of blocks to dig back up. So keep on going back. Right in around there, I think. 3 more? 1, 2. Let's do 4 more. Right on this way, maybe? Yeah. Is it a little weird? Yes. Do I care? No. I'm out in the end. And I'm down to 1.5 stacks. That's not good. That's okay. Let's do a little bit of exploring through here. What else I can see? Down there. I would favor going more in this direction, though. Well, I mean, I just poo-pooed going that way. But given the choice of... Alright, so do I build across? Drill down through there and then drill up through there? Plans am I looking at over there? That works. I mean, alternatively, I could also drill down through here. I do need blocks, right? Okay. Let's do a restock of blocks. Transition you off. Go. Okay. Get myself back up to 3 stacks. Another trick I like to do is when I'm doing my restocking of my blocks this way, I like to sort of figure out which direction I'm going in, and then I dig in the opposite direction. That way when I pop out, I'm immediately heading in the direction I intend to go in. Worked out well for me in the past. I mean, it has a nice logic to it as well. Alright, well, at this point, we're well outside the map. I guess sort of down in this direction then. Kind of eyeballing it here, so gotta be very careful with what I do. Good news at least. Well, I mean, take advantage of the fact that I have quite a distance with that. Insufficient. I had to do that, but I have to start back from 1. I guess I could water bucket down. You know what? I got water. Let's do that. Now from here, we're just going to head up. So I am, after all, perfectly aligned. And yeah, I mean, normally I would not recommend this since it's very easy while digging up to look into an Enderman's eyes, but remember, I got this pumpkin helmet. It's working great, so take advantage of that, man. There we go. And back up, so I want you there. What I'm gonna do, connect over there. Okay. That works. I'll fill you in. There we go. There. Our return route sealed. Alright, let's take you off. And you can see I've actually got a nice collection of garbage blocks at this point. Alright. You know what? I'm lazy. We go up. Apparently when it comes to garbage things, yes, I mean, you want to take something that you can afford to lose. But oftentimes I find it's worth the effort to get a diamond tool of some sort, even if it's unenchanted. Simply because you can see just how much I'm chewing through these blocks. And unfortunately, end blocks take a fair bit of wear off of your tools. that we can see. Yeah, no end ship on there, definitely. I gotta admit, if I'm looking for islands, it's pretty fruitful. Oh, nice. That end gateway is great. If you can run into one of them, they're basically a free passage back home. Oh yes, which is another reason why I recommended bring birch logs and stuff. One of the best ways to get through the end gate is not to ender pearl, because, I mean, who knows where the pearls are going to wind up once you actually toss it. No, the better approach is to, oh, yeah. While I think of it, probably should transition over here a little bit more. Wait, what is that all the way down there? Graphical glitches. But yes, one thing I just remembered, actually. Probably should have taken it a little bit more handier. On this other server that I was playing on, I took advantage of the fact that I allowed myself access to F3 for that. Because, I mean, if you're playing on the same rule on every server, you know, what's the point? Mix it up a little bit, see what works, see what doesn't. Everything gets together. Yeah, it's definitely just a graphical glitch of some sort. Actually, you know what? I think back over here would be a better approach. Right across from here. Oh shoot, I lost my train of thought now. I almost turned that into a drinking game. How often does HJ lose his train of thought while playing Minecraft? Would not recommend it with hard liquor, that's for sure. But yeah, the wood also allows you to build a trapdoor and button. Now, why exactly would you want that? Well, in Java Edition, it doesn't work in Bedrock, if I recall correctly. You can actually make yourself 1 block high by being forced down underneath a trap door. Essentially, you sort of go into like a crawling state. You know, let's carry on. You know, carry on. And that's super convenient because the gateway is 1 block high. So you flip that switch, you hit that, and then boom, you're transported back to the gateway right on the end of Portal Island. And everybody happy. I'm not going back now, I'm not going to do it, but I'm going to build myself a little bit of a platform up there. I'm also going to be careful with these things too. I think I wound up accidentally killing somebody that I was playing with. Simply because when I was laying down... When I was laying down blocks, I was obviously most concerned about protecting against Enderman. So I created, you know, like a too high roof and all that. Well, the way these things sort of teleport you around, basically anybody who went through the portal on the other side, if they went through the wrong side, would be teleported over the void and die. Not good. So ever since then, I've started not to basically put any sort of lids on these things. But, oh yeah, now I remember my train of thought. End cities, this came up on OMG Craft. They shared the wisdom that from an end city you always go north, south, or east. You always go east, west. I think it was. That actually is not correct. End cities are set up on a bit of a grid system, kind of like how Nether fortresses are. So they'll only appear within certain chunk areas that pop up. So there are some areas where there's no point in even bothering looking for an end city, because an end city will never arise. Now, obviously, I don't have coordinates, so I don't know where those are. But I do know where one end city is. And so I know that if I basically go roughly in a horizontal line from there, I'll be following those chunk things, more or less. I mean, again, I don't know where I'm centered within the valid range. But... okay, we got another island over there. But the odds of me actually spotting one increase dramatically. As long as I'm sort of... right now, I'm going to give it a little bit of room to sort of spawn in a little bit. I should be a little bit more left. Hey, everybody. Yeah, that's the plan. Pick a city, go straight in one direction. So now, which island do I go for? That one or that one? I think this one's closer overall. This one's big, though. Let's do a little bit of quick exploration over here. I know basically if I shave the left-hand side of this thing, I'll be in a favorable position to hit density. But if I'm lucky, I might even just wrap around and hit the other side of the thing right here. Or maybe it's also on the far side of the available coordinates. Over there. As long as I don't get too confused about where the existing end city is. I'm going to do a bit of exploring this way. If I get lucky. Since end cities don't spawn over the void, you know, it needs some sort of island or to spawn on. Yeah, if I spot an end city on here, great, I'll head for it. If I do not, I'll stick with the known good. Let's head over this way and let the server create these chunks. Again, we're in uncharted territory here, so the server is creating everything it needs. Now, this unfortunately is not going to show up in real time here, but yes. So this is where I am. This is where that city is. So I'm somewhere over in here. I guess just keep going on roughly in this direction. Again, you can see somebody's explored more to the north side, but this again is sort of my general thing. So I'm just going to transition this over to run myself roughly at where I am. Transition back, and I'm not seeing any more loading in. Alright, that looks like that's a bust. So, are you the entity I saw before? I think you are. The town. I mean, this area right here is just pure void, so that might actually even be a new end city that I'm looking at. I mean, you can see it's nice and tall. I don't see any signs of an end ship. Yeah, no, I think that's actually just the same end city. Do it over again. Okay. Fine by me. Alright, so we've hit the end of this island. Let's run then to this side. Yep, you are the end city I saw before. Okay, I guess rather than be sort of southwesty, I can sort of go a little bit south-northy, as long as I'm careful not to go too far north. biased towards the south, I guess. Light's kicking in there too. More likely to find one if I head over to there. Blocks. Oh. Tons. Alright. Yeah, that's the equivalent of 4 stacks, so I can stretch myself a little bit. Alright. Let's head over to here, I think. Now you sadly have disappeared. Okay. Yep. Sticking with the plan. Alright, let's food up a bit. And get back to digging. Yeah, half an hour or so left in the stream. And I suppose I could always just log out back over here. Server will remember my spot. That at my spawn point, so, you know, if I do feel like dying for whatever reason, I can, but... And as long as I sort of cocoon myself in and guarantee that I'm not going to get seen by Enderman, which, I mean, again, I'm being a little bit silly. The pumpkin should protect against that. Should be A-okay. Be hanging out here. No, my food supply is still good. As I'm hopping from large island to large island, I've got a ton of coarse fruit for additional food supply. Four, 3, 2, 1. Look at that. Not seeing anything in terms of islands though, so. Alright. We're almost there. Was a welcome sight. Alright. That was me transitioning sideways. So that actually is my main route. So this is the direction I want to go. Let's explore this place a little bit. Alright, stick to the right a little bit. So hopefully, if there's an end city on that thing, it'll spawn in. I like it. Really close to another island. I'm not seeing any cities sort of spawning in here, so. There's another major landmass over there. If a city pops in. Over no. Let's see if I can get just a couple more chunks to spawn in if I head over here a little. No, doesn't look like it. Okay. And we head down that way. Very good. Suppose if it's too long, I can wait for the server admins to update the map and then use that to chart a little bit better of a course. Alright. Right in about here, I think, is my ideal spot. I like the fact, well, actually right here I think is better for me, mainly because I get a little bit more coverage from, the ground terrain. Alright, so I'm down to a stack and a half. I'll at least transition across here, see what I can see. We are down to 20 minutes left in the stream. Do the usual stutter step to see if there's anything that pops in. That area seems pretty much to end off right there. A couple of disjointed islands, but nothing major. What do you got to offer over here? We got more islands popping in over there. Go around through here a little bit more. And get a little bit more popping in. That's intriguing over there. I think that would look like a city, though. To carry on here, though. Although, let me just bring this map back. See, this is my general trend right here. There is a ton up north here that I got to be careful to avoid. I think, just as a guess, I'm probably somewhere around here or something like that. Again, yeah, right there. Somewhere down through here. So as long as I just basically keep heading direct east, I should be fine. That certainly qualifies as direct east. Although, let's see if there's any something there. Yep. No. I actually went up and grabbed it. Oh, there's another ship one right there. Now, take a look, though. Someone did visit this one, definitely. Okay, if somebody visited that, there's a good chance somebody would have visited that one as well, too. Barely at the edge, but I mean, in theory, yeah, this one's been visited, too. Somebody went through and did the conventional strat to basically pillar out to there. Maybe that one has not been visited? Because I don't see a line there. It's always possible they may have actually pillared up from below. My preferred strategy as well. But be given how close it is to the chunk border, it's also possible that they just, did not even get there. Here. Nether and city. Well, yeah, no, I was showing that one off before. In fact, no, that's where I am, right there. The northwest, maybe that, but yeah, I'm not buying it. Keep going in this direction. And I'm down to stack and a half. Plenty to finish up in this direction as well. But on this island, I'm going to have to restock. Yeah, yeah, look, that was a nice close one. All right. Pay no attention to me, Enderman. I am your friend. Yeah, not seeing much on those. There's more over here, though. That looks fairly truncated, but it probably hasn't finished building yet. Yeah, no, there's more chunks to be constructed. I got two choices over there. It's better, actually, to just keep going this way. Load in a few more chunks over here. See what we got. Can load any more? Alright, well. Time to dive in. I'm going to need about a stack and a half of these. I guess turn around once I've got a full stack. Maybe a bit extra? Yeah, let's go for a little bit extra before I turn around. Ooh. Be back out in the open. Not good. Something like that. There we go. 3 whole stacks. Nice, and pretty much just perfectly in time. Alright. Let's do it. If this is going to be the last last island I visit on this stream. We'll find out. You just pop in. Interesting. I'm just trying to get my grip, so I've actually got 2 fingers now on the shift key. Wrong one. Should be using that. There we go. Oh, wait. I'm gonna do that. I apologize. Alright, but I'm just focused intently on trying to find, you know, an end city and an Elytra. I'm not always thinking about what exactly the stream looks like on there. I have plans to, you know, try and do something about that later on, but not in the short term, definitely. Around, you know, fall or something, I'll have a better system, which makes it tougher for me to accidentally be looking at the wrong thing. Exhausted that. Alright, that's 1.5 stacks almost. 1.5, there we go. I'm halfway through my inventory. Oh, you can hear an Enderman. There we go. Hey, Enderdude. Enderdude. There's a bit of that. Whoever's taking its time to spawn stuff in. On more? Or are you finished? It's finished. The end of that island. I'll take a look at that thing just floating over there. Gosh, I don't know what's that Optifine screwing something up. Oh, nice, okay. More islands popping up. Careful. Last thing I want to do is dive into the void accidentally. Speaking. Wow, this is a big one. Goodness, okay, well. I'm just going to hold down control and see what I can say. Of the big ones, mainly because it's more places that a city could potentially spawn. Again, I got no idea if, you know, I'm anywhere near the proper coordinates for the thing to spawn, but... I'm not seeing a sign of a city. Disappointing. Seriously, I'm just loving this pumpkin thing. I do wonder, what's my view distance right now? Render distance 37. 37? Holy cow. I should turn that down when I'm in the overworld next. Oh, nothing popped up, alright. A lot more popping in through here. We're definitely heading a little bit more south than what I was intending. Okay. Well, that's the main connector over there. You, buddy. We go this way. Still east, the intended direction. I want to head over here. Bridge over. Bring on the turbo. The pass around the island, see if a city spawns in. Okay. Or chorus fruit tree. Oh yeah, I haven't talked about filtered seed glitch just yet, have I? Now, unfortunately, not much to talk about at the moment. I'm too busy with other programming tasks to devote much time to it. I noticed that development really seems to have slowed down. I promised I would help another developer out with some things, and I mean, they still really haven't made a single comment on anything I've said or done. So, quite sure what to make of that. They want to go in a different direction. Oh, wait, here we go. Here we go. That though. Oh, we got 5 minutes left in the stream. Can we take this on? Yeah, actually, and this would be a really good way to demonstrate troll strats. Okay, well, first off, let's see where the main entrance is. Right there. Okay. Don't want to go in the main entrance directly. Just curl around the side here a little bit. Don't mind the bounce again. Get a little bit of food. Alright. Just checking the environs, but alright. Troll strats. Here is how you break into a fortress with the least amount of damage to yourself. There's a little bit of you too. Step 1. Power up. Works best if you're not on the side that has the shulkers, because they're going to be firing at you the entire way. And if they do, that's fine. This is why you got Ender Pearls with you at this moment. Alright. Now let's transition across. There. City at the end of the game. Alright. Step 1, finished. Step 2, find roughly the center of where this thing is. I think it's right here, so I'm just gonna go. And now around the center point, create a 4x4 frame, not necessarily having to fill in all the sides there, just to contain a bunch of water. I'll plant your water in here for step 3, and now I've got an infinite water supply, which is great. But more importantly, pull out my pickaxe. Oops. Oh, hello, you. Yeah. See, I can fire down here fairly safely. Oh no, I've been shot. Whatever will I do? How about maybe I just fall directly into the water stream? There I go again. Alright, good. Let's grab myself a little bit of food here. So you can see I created like a nice water column all the way down there. This provides me a little bit of shelter from shulkers firing at me and gives me a safe landing. It goes basically right down the center line of where this entire structure goes, since so many end cities are basically just straight up and down. There. Got rid of you. Seeing or hearing any more shulkers. Alright, let's head down here. There might be one hanging out in here. Oh. Ah, I hear you. There you are. Oh. And there's some shulker shells. And now, I've got this water stream. I'll just... Whoop. There we go. 1, 2, 3 shulker shells. And look at how much effort that was. Now, so much nicer than the traditional route. Alright, so let's head back up. Because I still never really explored what was in those chests. Best way to go over there. Yeah, let's just head back up to the top. And of course I'm back to 2 full water buckets, so I can just go along and redo this method for anything I encounter. Oh, just a little bit of iron. Good. Thanks to my the rules that I play under, I tend to be a little iron deprived. Some diamonds. Don't even really use diamonds for much nowadays. Boots with blast protection, yeah, but I like my gold just because it protects me in the nether. And I mean, these have ridiculous stats on them anyway. Alright. I'm going to throw those stuff in there. And this has Silk Touch. Perfect. Alright, well, let's go for another 5 minutes or so. See if I can blow things up a little bit more. Do I want to... I'm not... We don't have a lot longer in the... Should I take this? Do I have a saddle? I don't think I have a saddle. Okay. Go. Yeah, drown them up. I'm gonna skip out in the glow lights. We'll let that a bit. Carry on down. Should have the 2 shulkers up front. I've got a transition spot right here. I don't see any more shulkers at this point. That's cool. That's all I'm going to do to carry on my troll strats. Dig on down. Alright, I'm not seeing any treasure chests either. Let's carry on with our troll strats. There we go, ground floor. Help yourself. I think this has looting, so... I'm sure, buddy. You do that. Up here. Wait for that to transition off. Boom. Alright. Shulkers. Now I got 5. Oof, yeah. Now if I can come back up here. Let's head up top here. Set up a crafting bench here. Well, actually, rather than head in there, down here. You guys, I don't really need you anymore, do I? Don't want you. Yeah, I've got enough to make 2 shulker boxes, so let's do that. Beetroot seeds, go. Iron boots, get. Iron shovel. Interesting, but I got better. Alright. Oh, crafting table. Bam. Nice. 2 shulker boxes. Alright. Let's transition some of this stuff over. Bunch of this. Oh, I got it. Okay, so let's put the good stuff in this one. Red banner, it's very useful. Shulker shells I'm going to keep with me. And I like the look of it, but gunpowder, definitely important. Fire resistance, gas tier, diamond, iron, blah. Blaze rod, super important. Crafting table, yeah. Save me from having to make another one. Sandstone, I'll take you for some garbage blocks. Oh, actually, some blackstone too. Don't mind if I do. Yeah, not really. I'll tell you what. I mean, those could come in handy for construction later on, so you get to sit in the good box. Oh, and the saddle, of course. What am I thinking? So definitely, if I see gunpowder up there, that will be the first gun box. Because unfortunately, I don't have any dyes or anything on me, or an anvil, in order to actually build something. Oh, wait. It's the acacia boat. There we go. It starts with the acacia boat. I know it's the good one. You know what? You take the purple too. Yep. The other one will be for garbage. Alright, so netherrack, go. Torch, go. Creeping vines, go. Here. You I want to keep on my person. Yeah. Alright, well, let's stash bulkers in there. Paper's just gonna have to sit there. No, I'll tell you what, I'll put you guys over there. Water buckets, you can sit there. Alright. Oh yeah, would have the extra inventory space. Haven't picked this up yet. Here we go. Alright. Go down the center line. Wait. No, I tossed you down. You're good. Nail it on this way. Now this is the way back home. So I should set myself up a bit of an arrow indicating that, hey, this is where I want to head back to. Also check out this area a little bit. That looks like my next spot. Somewhere over there. I'll tell you what. Build myself a bit of an arrow. And there we go. Direction of travel. Now let's build myself a little Enderman safe spot. Brick face. A little bit longer. And there we go. Alright. I think that finishes it for today, so. Alright, well, no luck with an Elytra, but I did show off my troll strats for handling an end city. Hopefully that helps you do this sort of thing on your own. And yeah, hopefully next stream I'll actually find myself an Elytra and we'll get cracking on that, on the build that we've got. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll be seeing you next stream.